For the fight fans joining us and the millions watching around the world. In the Red Korner.
Yes, everyone, welcome back to In The Red Korner podcast with me, Ross. I hope everyone's well this evening. Tonight, I'm excited to have Ben Bonner on the show. We tried to make it happen in his last fight, but our schedules didn't line up, unfortunately, so I'm pleased to have him on. First time in The Red Korner. Class lad, here he is. Ben Bonner, everyone. How are you doing, Ben?
How are we doing, Ross? You all right? Yeah, I'm good, man.
Good,
mate. Yeah, man.
Good. So you just came from a training session there?
Yeah, I've just finished a hard session, man. Second one of the day. Feel good, feel strong, energy's there. Yeah, looking forward to the fight, man. And to be honest, I'm enjoying the training, enjoying where I'm at. Fitness is bang there, so looking forward to it, man. Enjoying the journey, mate.
Yeah, I mean, probably the last time I spoke to you properly face to face was just after your fight against Rob Barry in the hotel, and I know you were fucking heartbroken, devastated.
Yeah.
But you said something to us as well. You said, we don't lose, we learn.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what did you learn from that last fight?
To be honest, mate, there was a fair few things, to be honest, mate. I mean, in terms of the fight itself, there was a couple of things I did wrong. I didn't start the fight aggressive enough. I would have said I went on the back foot a lot the first round. And obviously at the end of the first round, that culminated in Rob landing that fucking big left over the top and put me on my ass, I think, the last 4 or 5 seconds of the round. Sort of didn't recover from that. I thought I did well in it and sort of grew into the fight. Second and third, fourth round, again, he put me down. And obviously the fifth round, he put me out. So in terms of the fight, I think there was a few things I'd done in training, but I didn't do in the fight. I didn't stand enough. I wasn't aggressive enough off the line, I think. Again, leading up to the fight, I was a bit heavy coming into fight week. I think I'd seen you on the morning of the weigh-in. I ended up cutting 6-7 kilos for that fight, from sort of 78 down to 71 and a half on the morning of the weigh-in, which is probably a bit much for me at the time, I thought. Although I felt like I refueled well. Obviously, them things play a part on the night in the fight, and my energy levels just weren't what I thought they would be. Again, I had some other things going on outside of the fight, that sort of external life stresses sort of thing. But again, like I say, we don't lose, we learn. And I think it's about just putting them things right for this fight, which I have done. I mean, I'm feeling strong on my diet at the minute. Weight's coming down well. Training's going well. I'm feeling fit, sharp, strong. I'm just working a bit more on that sort of controlled aggression, and sort of, instead of building into the fight, just flying off the handle from the first minute, as it were, and just go all out, man. But again, it's when you don't sort of trust your fitness. I think it was a lot of it in the fight with Rob. I didn't really trust my fitness to sort of just stand and bang for 5 rounds. So again, it sort of played into that. I was on my bike a bit from the first round, and again, he just sort of chased me around the ring, which sort of I wasn't anticipating that much. I mean, I've seen, sure. Hopefully, I mean, I know where I'm at now. I'm sort of 6 weeks ahead of where I was at this point, I would say, in the Rob Barry lead up to the fight. So, I mean, I've seen Jonny Graham's last BKFC fight. I've seen a couple of his white collar fights. He looks strong, aggressive, comes forward. And I guess I'm going to have to sort of match that on the night.
Yeah, I really like Jonny's style. I like his fight style, to be honest. I like him as a lad. He's a lovely lad as well. And a handsome bastard as well, isn't he?
Fucking, to be honest, mate, he's got a good style. I like. He sort of sits down well. He sits down well on his shots, and he comes forward with a high guard. And I like that way. To be honest, I like his style. I don't really know him. I've never met him. Seems like an alright fella. And do you know what, mate? He's it's his hometown. He's going to be coming for the win, and I know that, and I want that. I want a good fight. I want a strong fight again. But this is in my opinion, mate. This is my night. It's come back. It's redemption for me in a sense. And I've got these targets in my head of where I want to be in terms of rankings, where I think I can be, where I know in my own head, in my own head, mate, I'm up there with the top 5-10 lightweights in the world. But again, to make statements like that, you need to be able to prove it on the night. And the fight against Jonny Graham is just one stepping stone towards that, I think.
Yeah, I mean he's very quick. He's a great boxer. Obviously he fought Will Kearns.
Yeah.
But he did kind of show as well, as I'm sure he'd agree and admit, that he got caught in that fight too. But then,
I think to be honest, mate,
I finished him off.
Yeah, he came in with a low left hand, and I think he got clipped over the top with the right hand over the top, and I think I've seen his legs buckle when I've watched the sort of highlights. And again, I can say, he does this wrong, he does that wrong, and I'm sure he's watched my 2 fights back, and he'll say the same about me. He comes in with his hands low, doesn't move his head, for all these things, so. Listen, mate, it's bare knuckle boxing, and you can win by knocking someone out with a jab, and you can also lose by getting knocked out with a jab. It's bare knuckle, and there's no sport like it. In terms of like bone on bone contact, that the way people's faces cut. And I know he's going to be strong, he's going to be fit, and it's going to make for a good fight, because I know I'm going to be 100% on the night. I'm hoping he'll be 100%, and I can see holes in his game, we can see holes in mine, no doubt, and it's about who can sort of implement their game plan on the night, and I know that's going to be me. So again, like I said, I've got these ambitions and goals of where I want to be, but again, to see all these things, you need to back that up on the night. And I'm looking forward to doing that, to be honest.
I mean, he's obviously taking you seriously. I think his last fight, I don't think he even done a camp. I think he maybe even, I'm not even sure if he'd done a week of training for his last fight. So, I mean, I think he's in camp now, doing bits. Yeah. I've seen on the Fully Game podcast, he's doing bits with them. So, he's obviously taking this fight seriously as well. So, I show respect. Yeah,
listen, I think if you look at the last show in Newcastle specifically, and a few others, especially more from some of the UK shows, you see lads like, they get clipped 1 or 2 shots to go down, they stay down, they don't want to get back up. And I think it's disrespectful to some of the other lads in the sport who actually put the heart and soul into the camps and they train hard for it. And, I think anyone who gets matched up with me knows that they're going to have a fight, because I don't go down, stay down. I'll always get back up if I can get back up, and I'll always be in your face. So I think, I hope he's training hard. I hope he's putting the work in, because if he doesn't, he'll get found out on the night. And I think good luck to him. I hope his camp's gone well. But on the night, I'm going to punch his fucking head in. And that's the fucking, I think that's the bottom line of it, to be honest, Ross.
I'm sure he'll be saying the same to you as well.
I hope he is. Listen, at the end of the day, we're not coming here for the pillow fight. And if we were, we'd wear gloves, wouldn't we? We both want to fight. We both want to war. We both want to do damage. At the end of the day, mate, it's bare knuckle boxing. It's just, people say it's a sport and it's this and that. But, very few sports are there where you really want to do the other person or the other team, whether you want to do them some damage. And like I say, I hope we both come out healthy after the fight. I hope that there's no long-lasting injuries, but I also hope that I fucking steamroll him and put him clean out. And I hope he's going to be saying the same things about me. Yeah. And I have no doubt, mate, on the night it's going to be a fucking damn good fight. Like it is with a lot of the other fights on the night, there's some good fights on the night. We were talking just before we come on live, about some of the other matchups on the night.
Yeah, some
And
class lineups like.
oh mate, it's going to be one hell of a fucking night, one hell of a night, mate, for British bare knuckle boxing.
Danny Christie headlining, Anthony Holmes versus Cole. We talked about that. That is going to be an unbelievable fight.
Yeah.
You know, there's that many to, and there's still some to be announced as well. I think as well. So I mean, you and Jonny Graham, I think your styles make fights, and I think your style and his style as well. I mean, I don't think you could deny that this is going to be his hardest, opponent so far in the bare knuckle game. So, it's going to be an amazing fight, and what you showed in your last fight as well with the fucking size of your balls that you've got, and you didn't get the result you wanted, but you went out on your shield, and that's you gave it your all and your everything.
Yeah, mate. Listen, like I said there, Ross. It's like if you listen at the end of the day, if you're doing bare knuckle boxing in this sport, you know what you're in for. You're in for the fight, and you need that. You need that heart, and you need that willpower and that will to win. Because it's let's be honest, it's a fucking ruthless, dangerous fucking sport. And if you're not cut out for it, mate, you'll get found out pretty fast, as some lads do. And someone was on the last show, like I think on the last show, like if you look at some of the other fights, like for instance that Carl Thompson, I think he got put down in the first round, come back and won against that Polish fellow who won Gromda. And they're the sort of fights that you want, fights that people will remember. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to be coming away from a show. People, it's like it's a cost of living crisis. Not a lot of people have got money, especially not up north where I'm from, Middlesbrough. Not a lot of people have got money and they're spending sort of £60-70 on tickets, mini buses, this, that, the other. And for me, if them people were to walk away and think, what, he didn't do now, he just went down and laid down. Yeah. It'd be not only a disservice to myself, mate, but it'd be a disservice to all them as well. People who've paid their money to come and watch you and support you.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we respect that and fucking put our heart and soul on the line.
It's a question. This was going to be my last question to you, but you kind of figured it there. That I want to say, you do put your heart and soul into it. Where does that come from? Why do you fight?
To be honest, Ross, it's one of them things where it's always been like for me. I started boxing when I was a kid. Shot like 13, 14, something like that. My mum took me down. Mum and dad took me down to the local boxing gym in Middlesbrough. And it was always just a thing from then on. And I took a few years out, just training with my pals, just in local gyms and whatnot. But to be honest, mate, it's like it gives me that focus of like, a lot of me like it gives me that focus and gives me a reason to basically, mate, not party, not lead a wrong life. Gives me focus and energy, mate, to start stay on the straight and narrow in terms of like just being a healthy person, mate. I'm a massive believer, mate, that fitness exercise, mate, is the most underutilized antidepressant there probably is. You never walk out of a gym feeling worse than when you went in. No matter whether you're doing boxing, running, fucking treadmill, cross training, whatever it is, whatever level of ability you're at, you never walk out of the gym feeling worse than when you went in. Even after a bad spar, you still feel better about yourself, yeah? And I think it's things like that, mate. For me, it just keeps me on the right track, gives me a reason to not go out on a weekend, not go party. It gives me a reason to stay focused, disciplined. And I believe I'm a better person for it. Just generally in life, I'm a better person for fighting. So
is it the structure that it gives you as well then?
Yeah, like the routine, the structure. I heard something before, and on the day when you train, you don't feel like a lazy piece of shit. Basically, you've accomplished something good. It might be the only thing that day that you do that's fucking meaningful and worthwhile for yourself, but you've done something for yourself, and I think it's growth as a person as well. Like there's a lot of bad habits in the world, and there's a fucking a lot of my pals do party and things like that and all this other stuff. And I think it's giving me that structure, that routine, a reason to stay healthy and stay focused. And I think that, and to be honest, mate, I love a fight. Listen, mate, I love a fight, and I think that's always been in me. It's always been in me, mate. My dad was a fighter. He fucking thrives on violence, mate. And I guess you inherit that somewhere along the line. So yeah, I'd say I'm a bit more. I'd say I'm a bit more relaxed and chilled than him. But again, mate, it's in your bloodline, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
And to be honest, mate, I just like fighting. I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy sparring. I love it in the bags, it in the pads. And to be honest, mate, I just love fighting. And then obviously the opportunity came along to do the BKFC, and it's more of a like. There's no purer form of violence, mate, than fucking knuckles on face, mate. No purer form, and I love it, man. I love it. Whether that's getting smashed in the face or smashing someone in the face, mate. I enjoy it. I enjoy every aspect of it, man.
I say it all the time. That like it's like art. What you've created there. That's how I see it. I do. It's unbelievable. It's an art in itself.
Yeah, mate. Listen, it's like you see, and people, people who. Like who don't know much about bare knuckle but know a bit about boxing and whatever. They always ask me, what's the difference in bare knuckle and boxing? And I always say, like, you see in boxing, yeah, you can just sit there on the ropes, you can take the shots on your gloves, it's fucking, you can you see in bare knuckle, there is none of that, it's
There's
one
nowhere
punch.
to hide.
Yeah, one punch changes a fight. I've seen people literally getting smashed about for 4 rounds. In the 5th round, bang, one punch, knockout.
Yeah.
Like. And it's that thing of where you have to be laser focused from minute 1 to the last bell of the night, and it's like, yeah, mate, I love it, man. There's no fucking purer form in fighting, mate, than fucking bare knuckle.
Definitely.
And I fucking love it, mate. I just like fighting and everything that it gives me.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
a great example of that was Danny Christie against Anthony Holmes. Where Danny was, down in the rounds.
He got that cut. He was down in the rounds, and I think he probably knew. I think it was at the 3rd round or 4th round or something. He stopped him.
Yeah,
something
4th,
like
I
that.
think.
4th, I think. Yeah, and I think he got a cut. Was he getting a cut? He got a cut, and then I think at that point, Danny probably knew there's a chance it might get stopped. And fucking hell, mate. Listen, he went forward with a vengeance, mate, and he got the job done in the end. And I think you're right in what you're saying. It's that sort of thing there that just shows anything, and I mean anything can happen in bare knuckle boxing. And that's what the spectators go for, isn't it? That unpredictability. Because let's be honest, if you go to like these most professional boxing shows now, other than the co-main event and the main event, you'll probably know this prospect's going to spark out this journeyman. Yeah. And it's probably like that for 9 or 10 fights, you know what I mean? You've got like 8 or 10.
I can't get away with it anymore.
Do you know what, mate? Yeah, it's one of them things is where like sometimes there's 10 fights on the card, but you know who's going to win the first 8.
Yeah.
And I think that's the appeal of bare knuckle, where you really don't know. And even if someone's classed as a journeyman, I don't like that word, journeyman, but if someone's classed as a journeyman, even in bare knuckle, they win fights all the time. Where in boxing, you see people sometimes with records of like 4 wins, 70 losses. In bare knuckle, I think that a loss on someone's record doesn't define a fighter, I think.
No.
And that's what I like about the sport. It's a fucking tough man's game, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
It's a tough man's game, mate.
That brings it back around to your last fight. Obviously, you didn't get the result you wanted, but yeah. I think you'll have gained a hell of a lot of fans from the performance that you put on, though. You know what I mean? From the heart and the will that you showed.
Do you know what, mate? The amount of people I've had that message me after that fight, and like I hear sometimes people say, when you lose, there's only a couple of people there. Listen, mate, the amount of people who came up to me after the fight and messaged me on the internet, just came up to me in the hotel, wherever, who were like, listen, fucking hell, absolute war, I loved it, man, you're a fucking warrior.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, at the time, looking back now, that first like 2 hours after the fight, I won't lie, mate, I was fucking heartbroken. It was the first fight, mate. It was the first fight I'd lost in probably fucking 6 years or something, 5, 6 years. And listen, it was a tough one to take, mate, because in my head I thought I was going to win. Although I had things going wrong in the camp leading up to it, I still in my head thought I'm going to win this fight. And I didn't, and it was fucking. Listen, mate, a loss in anything's hard to take, but when you're getting beat in front of getting fucking dropped in front of 3,000-4,000 people, mate, it's hard to take, isn't it? You know what I mean? Fucking hell, it's not easy, mate. It's hard to take, mate. But again, you know, like you said, mate, you don't lose, you learn, and we move on, mate, and we go again.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, mate, a lot of people give me a lot of respect for that, which doesn't usually happen coming off a loss. But if there's ever a way to lose, mate, I guess that's it. You know, I'd rather.
Yeah.
I always say it, mate. There's one thing I always say, and I'll stand by this, mate, till I die. I'd rather get knocked out than walk out. I'd rather get knocked clean out than give up on my stool or get dropped and just sit down when I know I can get back up. I'd rather be sparked unconscious, and that's just the way it is, man.
Definitely. I mean, so outside of fights, when you don't have a fight in place and things like that, do you start? You know, how do you keep yourself disciplined and focused?
Oh, mate, listen, I'll be honest. After the first couple of weeks after a fight, it's usually difficult, mate. I have a couple of drinks with my pals, and then I usually get, like, to be fair, after the Rob Barry fight, I had like a week, I think it was. I had a couple of drinks that week, maybe on like that. I had a drink after the fight on the Saturday, then again on the Monday and the Wednesday or somewhere. And then after that, mate, I was, to be honest, mate, it was the only injury I had of the fight with Rob. I had a bit of a bruised knuckle and just some stitching, so I was able to get back in the gym straight away. And that was a real saviour for me, because I know when you've had that routine and structure, you go in the gym twice a day, you're training twice a day, every day, 6 days a week, and then after the fight, it's like the dust settled. Yeah, the dust settled. The fucking you're not under the lights no more. The razzmatazz is gone, and you just sat there and you think,
it's all the big.
What's next?
It's a big like rise up to, you know, the pinnacle of the fight, and then
it's like jumping off the end of a cliff.
Yeah, it is. You're down to nothing, aren't you? You know, there's just, and it's almost silence of like. I know a lot of you fighters struggle with it. You know, it's
yeah, mate, it's hard, isn't it? It's like you have to learn to manage them emotions. You need to learn to manage them emotions of being like riding that wave into the highs, but then also, especially when you lose as well, you know, there'll come some extreme lows. There's some extreme lows, man, and you have a lot of time to think, and you repeat things in your head like, should have done this, should have done that. And sometimes, mate, it can be catastrophic for people to like overthink on situations. But for me, it was a case of I was very much of the attitude, you know, I lost, but I'll also learn from it, and I need to implement them changes moving forward. And I feel like I have. You know, I was straight back in the gym, like I say, a week after that last fight. I mean, I wasn't training with the intensity as what I am now, but it gave me just that routine, you know, going back in the gym, doing weights, getting my cardio in, just give me that peace of mind that when the call does come for the next fight, which it did do, that I'm starting off from a good point. So I think after the fight at BKFC London, I sort of ballooned up a bit. I went from like maybe 70 kilos up to fucking 86.
Right.
Yeah, and then I was, and when I started that camp for Rob Barry, like 10 weeks out from the fight, I think I was maybe 85 kilos. So but this time, you know, that was one of the things that I promised myself I wouldn't do, and I didn't do that. I've stayed at a good weight. I'm looking at the camera now, feeling skinny. So to be honest, mate, I'm in a good place. I'm looking forward to it. Listen, like I said, training, like having the fight, that's the fun part. Fighting's the fun bit.
Yeah.
It's the training and that I love. I love the training and things like that. Listen, nobody likes dieting. And if anyone does tell you they do, then they're a fucking liar. No, you know, like one of my friends said to me before, and he's right in what he said. You know, you'd have two fights. You have a fight on the night, and you have a fight with scales.
Yeah.
And it's the fight with the scales that's always the hardest. You know, them days where you haven't got probably as much energy as you like, and things like that. And that sort of temptation wherever you are. You're walking past a shop, you see chocolate bars, this and that, and I think it's about being smart enough to give yourself a good diet where you can have treats. But I think for me now, I'm getting a sort of 6 weeks out this weekend, and that'll be me. I've had the odd chocolate bar here and there, but 6 weeks out, that'll be me sort of laser focused then. No sort of cheat meals, no nothing. I'm ready. So looking forward to it, Ross. Can't wait, man. I know we're going to Liverpool this weekend. Be a good crack.
That's right, yeah. Scrolling across the bottom now, the Prospect Show. Saturday the 14th of October with the Olympia Liverpool. You and Lou are sharing a bed, which...
Lou's bringing the Vaseline. Listen, it's a good. The thing is as well, it's nice to be in that environment, isn't it? You're going to watch these shows, you're in the environment, you soak it all up as a fighter. And I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good crack, man. We'll have a good crack, yeah.
It will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I was down at the Prospects, the tryouts, and there's some great talent on there. There's some good-looking lads that look really good.
To be honest, mate, I've seen that. There's a young lad from Borough fighting. I think he's fighting Paddy McGlade. He looks all right. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight. I think it's Jez someone. And then also, mate, that fucking Zane Marks looks like a fucking hard cunt.
Yeah, he was a monster.
He
looks like he's trimmed down quite a lot as well from his Instagram and things. And Francis Della Motta as well. He looked good. He's fighting Big Lewis Francis.
Yeah.
There was some great lads. There was a lad from Carlisle there, but unfortunately he's had to pull out. But he looks really sharp. He looked really good.
Is that the amateur boxer? Someone was mentioning.
Yeah.
I think someone mentioned there was a top amateur there. And again, mate, listen, they're the sort of caliber of people you want coming into BKFC. You want these young talented kids to be thinking, do you know what? This is a real prospect for me, or a real fucking path in fighting.
I'd say what you were saying though. I think having these prospect shows and finding these fighters, it's going to eliminate the lads that are. I don't mean to speak bad. The lads that'll take a punch and lie down, or come for the payday, and that's it.
Poster boys, Ross. Poster boys. Pussies, man.
I think this will get rid of them though. It's going to be people that do want to fight, that are wanting to make a name for themselves, want to progress in the sport.
Yeah. Listen, mate, it separates the men from the boys, doesn't it? And the sooner you find that out, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a couple of rounds of yours if you want to give it a little watch.
Fucking hell. I don't know what I do like.
I mean, obviously one of the biggest things, there was Robert an 8-inch reach advantage over you as well, eh?
Listen to this. So I've looked at his fucking stats on the internet and I'm thinking, I'm a bit taller than him, I'll have the reach on him. The next thing I've seen him, mate, he's fucking dragging his arms along the floor when he's coming into the wing. I'm feeling, what the fuck's going on here?
Like an orangutan, isn't he?
Oh, mate. To be fair, mate, listen, he used that well. He used that reach well, mate.
There's your flag you were talking about on the fuse.
Mate, you know what? Me fucking dad's pal there on the left, Peter Pan. Fucking love him, man.
Long round number one for Robert Barry. Knocking down
this is
Ben
round
Bonner
2
in the closing stages of the opening round. To round 2 we go.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
Closing stages of the opening round. To round 2 we go.
See, I noticed at the start of that second round as well, he came out orthodox rather than
Hooks now to the head on the inside for Robert Barry.
Did that confuse you much in switching stances?
Not really, mate. Listen, it was a sort. He came out as an orthodox and switched straight to southpaw and flung that over the hand left. And to be honest, mate, at this point I was still a bit probably buzzed off that fucking off that left hand that he caught us with the last sort of 5 seconds of the last 5 seconds of the first round. He put me on my arse, and I was still a bit dazed and buzzed here, as you can probably see.
Yeah.
That will wear you down very badly if you don't.
I mean, he worked your body quite a lot as well. It was.
Oh, mate, listen, he's got some bat on him. Like, I'll give him that. I think this.
We're in the lightweight division. Barry in his BKFC debut versus Ben Bonner, who enters 1-0.
He kept sticking out the double jab and then backhand.
Yeah. Do you know what, mate? I won't lie, I found that hard to deal with on the night. Again, you know, he's an awkward southpaw, and
little short double jab closing the distance and then putting that backhand in.
Keeping out of the way of some of these tough shots, but man, he's taking a lot of hard shots at the same time.
Yeah, he to be fair, mate, he came forward well behind that double jab.
Look how calm and relaxed he is. Very impressive for his first fight here.
30 seconds remaining round.
Your level changing was good as well, though. You know, you kept going to the body, to the head.
Do you know what, mate? I like that body shot. My first fight against that Jamie Oldfield, I stopped him with a few body shots, and I like it, to be honest, mate. But again, you know, I'm seeing I should have been mixing it up more here, where I'm just throwing a lot of like 1-2, 1-2s. There's no real second phase. Like there, I should be throwing the left up off that right hand.
Yeah.
So again, you know, for me personally, there's a lot of things to learn, and we go again, man.
I thought he might be in a lot of trouble in that round. He got hit with a lot of hard shots, but he came back firing at the end.
He closed the distance pretty well as well, didn't he?
Yeah, to be honest, mate, like I said, it's with sort of distance management. I was not confused, but them long arms he has. They're very deceiving, so I'm thinking I'm out of range. But then he's catching me when in my head I'm thinking I'm 2 or 3 inches out of range here.
Yeah.
But then he's still catching me with that backhand on the left, and I'm thinking, you know, what's going on? And it's just, you know, it's mate, listen, in this game it's a matter of fucking a couple of inches, man, of distance.
Yeah.
And he was just catching me with it, and that's something I can learn. Something I need to learn. Here he is again there, like he's chasing me around going to the body.
Yeah.
And this is where, really, this is now where I should have done this. I should have just stood still and banged with him, but I was on the bike too much at the start of the round.
Big right hand there.
Here again, you know, mate, there. He got me. I remember. I think that's when the cut opened up on my face. The cut opened up above my eye, and as soon as I felt it, I thought to myself, "Fucking hell, this is bad. This one."
Right, not meaning to be disrespectful or anything. It looked like he caught you out of position quite a few times. Is that just because you were dazed then, or?
Yeah, to be honest, mate, he caught me with the left hand just before this here. And again, mate, like I said, there again, like there, he was just, to be honest, mate, he was just very awkward as a southpaw.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get a grip with him, mate. And again, it's more of, if I was a bit fitter, I think. And again, mate, listen, take nothing away from Rob. He caught me with some really big, heavy shots. He caught me with some really big, heavy shots, and I was, a lot of the fight, I was a bit dazed, I was a bit fuzzed. And I probably wasn't at my best after being caught with them shots. But again, that's my own fault for not having my hands up, my chin down.
Yeah.
But again, I should have just been more aggressive in terms of just stood still with my hands up and just had a fight rather than there like that, moving back with my hands down. I should have just stood. But again, you know, we live and learn, Ross. We live and learn.
I mean, you can hear the chants in the background, T-side there as well. I mean, you had
some up the border.
Yeah, you had some great support there.
Yeah, mate. Listen, to be honest, I get good support from Buller. There's a certain there's a couple of groups of people, I would say, like family and friends. A lot of my dad's friends will come and support me every fight. And I fucking love them for it, mate. There's a couple of lads, Jason and Peter, who sort everything out, like I said on the Fuse podcast. You know, they're like my personal promoters, man. And again, you know, like I say, when people are spending sort of 60 quid, 70, 80, 100 quid, whatever it is, to buy tickets to come and watch your fight, you have to be grateful for that show of support. And again, it's just like, in Middlesbrough, you know, sometimes people are on work and money's tight, but still find the money to still get there to show support and love to you. And honestly, I try and see every single person that's bought a ticket after the fight. even at the last one, I was a bit fucked up, but I still went and tried to see people after the fight. Just to say, like, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate the support and the things that they do for me outside of the ring. You know, like my sponsors, Masterclass Talent and Plumbing, NGL Flooring, NAF, a lad from Middlesbrough, do so much for me inside and outside of the ring. Yeah, you know, it's nice that people want to support you and they want to come and buy a ticket, watch your fight. And you know, on them days where you don't feel like training, or them days where you're a bit run down, you know, it's just remembering that people are coming to watch you. They're spending the hard-earned money to watch you fight. It sort of spares you on that little bit more sometimes. It gives you that little bit more motivation. And it's always nice when you win, but again, you know, when in the last fight where I lost, still everyone who came was, you know, oh, you're a warrior, you're a fighter, fucking well done. And it's like, yeah, it's just nice to have them comments, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's nice, man.
Like you say, you showed some massive heart and, you know, some big old balls and things like that. So tickets wise, people, I mean, you'll post tickets out to people, won't you? So
yeah, so to be honest, mate, so I've posted a couple of tickets out, and then what I do is, so I send them to either my mum's house in Middlesbrough, and then she sort of Peter and Jason, our dad's mate, too. They sort of sell out, like, do a lot of my tickets for me. And they just go pick them up from our mum's. They'll take maybe 40, 50 tickets, bang, they'll get rid of them. Our mum will sort of give some out to the family and things like that. And then some of my pals, from Middlesbrough, they just go to our mum's house and pick them up. You know, Middlesbrough's a small place, mate, and the amount of support I get from there is fucking phenomenal, man. And it's you know, I love nothing more, mate, than representing the borough. I'm fucking, honestly, mate, I'm a red through and through, man. And I listen, mate, like, I've lived in London now for fucking, the last 4 years. But for the previous 28, 29 years, mate, fucking, I've been borough through and through, man. I love it. So yeah, the support I get from the Reds is fucking immense, man. Immense, mate.
Different speed of life down there, isn't it, London?
Oh, man, fucking hell, living the fast life, man. No, to be honest, mate, I like it. It gives me, no, this is no disrespect to Middlesbrough, mate. I'd never diss it because it's my fucking hometown, and like they say, home is where the heart is and all that. But you know, being in London, mate, gives me the opportunity for a different sort of life, different sort of training, and I love it, man. I'm in a nice place. I'm in a nice part of West London, mate. Life's good, you know, chilled, relaxed, happy days.
Good stuff. I'll put your Instagram link in the description box so people can contact you for tickets if they want to get them through
nice
you.
One, Ross, thank you.
One last thing then. Have you got a message for Jonny Graham? I'm
going to punch your fucking head in.
Short and sweet. Thanks very much. Hey, look, mate, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure, and I'll speak to you soon. We'll get that. We'll get down to Liverpool. We'll get that sorted and stuff.
Yeah, man. See you later.
Nice one.
See you later, mate, Ross.
See you later, pal. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon, man.
There we go, ladies and gents. Ben Bonner, class lad, showed a lot of balls and a lot of heart in his last fight, and gained a lot of fans, I'd imagine. So I'm looking forward to seeing him fight on there tomorrow night. I'm joined.
Sitting on the right hand, jab to the body.
Hang on a second.
Jab from Bonner to the head.
Tomorrow night, I'm joined by James Dixon, who's fighting Tom Scott. Got to get it done this week because he's off fighting. He's off training his wife, who's fighting on for the UK, the UFC in Las Vegas. Can't get my words out now. But yeah, James Lionheart Dixon, he'll be there. He'll be in the Red Corner tomorrow night. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And thank you very much to everyone for tuning in. And I'll speak to you all later.